After my last video talking about how this didn't make any sense, I didn't realize it was going to have that much of an effect on the community. It's like when I was talking, it was as if I was speaking for the community and everyone felt the same way that I did or the point that I was making. This has never happened before. Never in any of my videos have the entire comment section, or almost the entire comment section, been unanimous about how they feel regarding the issues. I mean, you can just look at the comment section of my video and see for yourself. And I'm talking about people who comment on my videos that have been around for a long time. There's one player or a commenter in particular who's pretty much always optimistic about what the Division developers do, or Massive or Ubisoft does. And whenever he comments, he has something objective to say about the situation, his point of view, and how he's looking forward to the future. But this situation even got him uneasy about the situation, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other content creators recognize this name. His name is DigitalDogs233, and he says, to be honest, I get where you're coming from. I've blindingly been supporting this game, saying it will all be sorted out. Then this, simply because I love the franchise, the lore. For me, I'm praying Division 3 will be a whole fresh start, new code, new everything, because if it turns out to be a model over this, then we will be screwed, because that's pretty much all I'm wanting now. A new Division game. And I'm not going to read to you all the rest of the comments. You can just go to my video and look and see for yourself. Only a few people are kind of on the edge talking about I may get it, but for the most part, the community, at least on my video, is unanimous about this. And I'm speaking to the developers now, because what are you doing? How much good grace of the community will you use up? I'm talking about the veterans, the people who've been here. I understand that from a marketing perspective, you're trying to get new players into the game to prepare for whatever's coming next. But for as long as we've been playing this game, what you don't realize is that the veterans are the ones who stick with the game for the long haul. Throughout this whole journey from Division 1 to Division 2, I didn't become a content creator until the Division 2 came out, shortly after that, like within the first year, right? But I played the entirety of Division 1, and I noticed other content creators who've been around from the beginning of that, right? I've seen big content creators leave, like Marco Style, for certain reasons like these or other reasons, whatever. The game drastically changed and people are just moving on, and that's for a reason. And at that point, I didn't get why they were leaving. But now, and I have been for a couple of years, see or understand the reason why. Because you're just using up the good grace of the community. It's like you're taking them for granted, like, oh, they'll be around. But what you don't get, what you don't understand, and I'm trying to reason with you here, I'm trying to help you understand something, because clearly you don't. What you don't realize is that the veterans of the community, especially the YouTubers, are the ones who have helped promote your game. So if you're worried about not getting new players or new players coming to your game, the Division IP is amazing. The franchise, the concept is loved by so many. And if you would just trust that and bring meaningful content, then your game will flourish. Do you know how much I will come through for the developers, or how much I will come through for this game if you have fire content instead of mediocre content that's just rehashed? We understand what you're doing. We see what you're doing. It's not like we can't see what's happening here. So I will come through with my builds, with my videos, talking about, oh man, this is coming, that's coming. I'm sure some of you have seen my videos and how much I go in with the concepts and the editing, and how hype I get, and how much people talk about, oh, you're the one keeping me coming back to this game because I come and see your builds and it's always something fresh and new. And I'm sure you've noticed on my part the lack of builds I've uploaded on my channel, simply because I'm losing the drive to do that. When I make content, it has to be genuine. It has to come from the heart. So it's really hard for me to fake, which is why you don't see these outlandish thumbnails of me saying things like, oh, this is huge, this is big. Like, I mean, I will say stuff like that, but it's rare. You know what I mean? It has to really actually be something. So I can't really put something behind content that's not really there. And for this new season, I was hyped when I saw the trailer, and I didn't really understand what you were talking about when you were talking about seasonal characters or whatnot until later on. And now that I see with your big manifesto or FAQ, I thought it was going to clear the air and make things a lot more clearer to me, but it's just worse. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense why we're doing this. So what I'm saying is that as a content creator, as a player of this game, I think you're making a mistake trying to do this, because people are going to follow your game regardless. I'm not the only content creator who will come through for y'all simply because we enjoy what the Division is about, the lore, the gameplay, the concept of builds, you blew it out the water with the whole RPG looter shooter concept back in 2016. Nobody was doing that on this level. So just imagine all the content creators who will just go crazy. I mean, the Division 2 from the beginning has had an organic growth based on the concept of the game. It didn't go anywhere. The only thing that's hindering that is you coming out with stuff like this, and people are getting tired of it. I'm not really upset that much about it. I'm just letting you guys know that this is not really a good look for the future of the franchise. I mean, I really don't understand what's happening here, because this might actually be what finally breaks the camel's back. You know how people make videos like, is this the end? This is it. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? All I know is that that's what people are saying in the comment section of the videos. Not to say they haven't said that before, and maybe they're empty threats, because honestly, if you did come out with something meaningful and something that people or players could look forward to, then let's be honest, people will be right back on the bandwagon like, oh man, I can't wait for this, I can't wait for that. But if you continuously do things like this, there's nothing really to look forward to in that realm. Like I said, I didn't expect to get such a response that I did. People are really passionate about this. They're tired. And let me tell you something. You do this for the new players and the people coming in, they're not going to stick around. Do you actually think that players that don't or haven't invested their time in the Division franchise or understand what it's really about, the grind, the builds? Because honestly, people don't really understand the Division, which is why it's hard for somebody who comes from like Destiny or just a standard shooter or some other game to really understand what it's like and why they should stick with it. And you're presenting this new season as if it's something fresh and new, like you're trying to paint the Division as something that is not. Players are saying that, oh, this is what Diablo is doing, seasonal characters, but this isn't Diablo. And you're about 4 years late, because if you did this around like year 2, then I would understand. But you're doing it now in year 6. It's not time to make it seem like there's something fresh and new coming on the horizon when it's just rehashed content. This is not the time to do that. It's the time to move this into a new era. That's where we're at right now. Simply put, that's where we're at. We're not at the point where we want to do this anymore. Come on, man. You know, sometimes when I think about it, I think to myself, I'm like, man, I make content for other games. I play other games, but I always keep a spot or I always keep a place on my channel to make content for the Division 2, because I feel like that's home. That's where the source of my channel began, on Division 2. And so my audience is mostly the Division 2. But when I've gone to other games like Remnant 2, Starfield, Elden Ring, whatever game I went to, I would thrive in those games. And let me tell you something about YouTubers, and I'm speaking from a personal perspective. I can't really speak on anybody else, but when it comes to uploading videos, you don't really know what's going to happen with anything. It's very unpredictable. So it's like you want to keep things around to make sure your channel's good. And I have plans to make videos for the Division 2 right now, and I'm trying not to make it personal. Like, okay, I'm established. I'm a YouTuber. I need to make content, so maybe I should just suck it up and make content anyway, right? I don't know. I'm just talking to y'all, man, because this is upsetting. It's never been like this before, but I don't really have anything else to say about this. I just want to let you guys know that this is actually happening. People are saying they're going to hang it up. This is it. They're going to go play something else. Do they really mean it? Because if you don't come with something, people are just going to get tired of this and like, hey, I'll be back later. I'll see you later, right? Anyways, let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. I appreciate you listening to the end. And as always, like the video if you like this conversation, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see you in the next one, fam. Be right out.